Okay, sit yourself onto your lift. Just come into a good cross-leg position. Come into cross legs and just spend a few moments just establishing your levelness, your balance. So feel that the seat bones are even on the cushion or on the blocks. Hold onto your knees and elevate the heart area upwards. Draw your heart area upwards. Draw your shoulders down away from your ears. Just look down at the floor. Look at something that isn't moving. Spend a moment to seek, to observe the rising and the falling of the chest as you inhale and exhale. While we're here, if you realise that you are sitting with unlevelness, then address that. Just readdress unlevelness. Keep your eyes still in the sockets, just observing your breath. Release your knees, bring your hands into Namaste. Pressing the palms firmly together. Lengthen from your armpits into your elbows into the heels of your hands, the heels of your hands into the fingertips. And then with an exhalation, allow your eyes to gently close. Focus on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and long, slow, deep, deliberate exhalations. Just allowing your in-breath and out-breath to draw your attention into this precise moment now. The breath becomes a pinpoint of attention. Focus on long, slow, deep, deliberate inhalations and exhalations. And with an exhalation, draw your chin down to meet your chest. Lift your chest up to meet your chin. Spend a moment to seek to generate a genuine, heartfelt sense of gratitude for something or someone or somewhere. Hold on to that feeling of abundance in the heart area. And then gently release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, the palms facing upwards. Bring the tip of your index finger together with the tip of the thumb. Just a gesture of wisdom, of physical intelligence and peacefulness that we can carry into our practice. And then raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open and the focus to softly come back. Just hold onto your knees, elevate the heart area upwards, and again draw your shoulders down. Just look directly forwards, but feel where the seat bones are in relation to the feet, in relation to the knees, in relation to the shins and the thighs and the hips. Just feel where you are in 3 dimensions, just observing the breath. The breath helping you to draw your attention into the physical body, just developing this sense of physical intelligence. Just feeling the body in 3 dimensions. Just like the way that you can put your hand in your pocket and you can differentiate between your keys and your wallet and your phone. You can see through the fingertips. So yoga develops that sensation, that ability to see through feeling. Take a deep inhalation, and then with an exhalation, turn to the right side, drawing your abdomen across, your ribs and your shoulders keeping your neck still. Dig the back hand into the floor so that you remain on the front edge of the seat bones. And as you turn, observe how the seat bones are balanced. Do they feel even? Draw your attention inwards and observe. Correcting any imbalance by repositioning the torso between the 2 hips. Come back to the center. Hold onto your knees, elevate the heart area upwards. Take a deep inhalation in through the nose and then turn to the left. Draw your abdomen across and your ribs and your shoulders. Breathe even, deep inhalations and exhalations. Just observing the balance of the feet, the balance of the seat bones, listening to the breath. Being present in the physical body, keeping your attention in the physical body. And if external thoughts seek to intrude, then just allow them to drift off as easily as they popped in. Observe the body's resistance and observe the body's freedom. Come back to the center. Come off your lift and down onto your heels for Adho Mukha Virasana. So just allow the feet and the shins to sink into the floor, to just release into the ground. Just turn your heels outwards a little so that the seat bones really, so that the inner heels make contact with the buttock flesh. Push the shins into the floor, push the shin bones into the floor, activating the thighs and elevating up into the heart area, really activating the spine. Keep the seat bones down on your heels as much as you possibly can. And you do that by bringing the hands into the floor and pushing the hands into the floor, pushing them away, sliding them along the mat. Keeping the seat bones down, keeping the hands pressing into the floor, using the traction of the mat to keep the seat bones down on the heels. Keep the head lifted. Come forwards with the heart area, keeping those seat bones as close to the heels as you can. And then finally bring the forehead down. Just feel the body in 3 dimensions. Feel where the shins are and the knees and the thighs and the hips. Just observing the moment. Keep the breath deep and soft. And observe that maybe in this pose it's not as easy to take full deep inhalations because the abdomen is probably restricted with the thighs. But just observe that. Observe how the abdomen plays a role in the breath. Just observe the breath when the space to breathe is a little restricted. So you can still take deep inhalations, deep exhalations, but it makes you breathe in a different way. It makes you breathe more pranically in the lungs. Keeping the focus in the lungs. So observe if you can change your focus from samanic breath in the abdomen region into pranic breath in the lungs. Breathe into the armpit chest. Breathe into the back chest. Come up onto your knees, turn your toes under, and then come up into dog down. Observe how the breath is different now that the abdomen is free. Just observe how the body feels for you today, how the pose feels for your body. If it's heavy in your shoulders, then activate your hips, activate the tops of the thighs, pressing the fronts of the thighs through to the backs of the thighs. Turn the fronts of the thighs inwards, keep the legs really straight. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Keep the breath inside the pose. Keep your attention on the breath as much as you keep your attention on the feeling of the pose. Step your feet forward, come up into standing position. If you have tension in your back this morning, then rather than coming all the way into half uttanasana, come forwards, Bring your hands onto the top of a table or the back of a chair or onto a windowsill and release your hands onto there. Otherwise, we're going to do full uttanasana. So bring your feet as wide apart as your mat. And then just feel, without looking, feel that your heels are touching the edge of the mat. Feel that the little toes are touching the edge of the mat, even if they're kind of slightly overhanging. So feel that the heel is touching the edge of the mat. And sometimes it just takes a little while to kind of draw that sensitivity into the feet. So have a quick look down. Make sure that the edge of the feet is effectively in line with the edge of the mat. Bring your hands onto your hips and elevate the heart area up to the ceiling. But don't lose the feet. When our attention maybe rises upwards, keep the attention down in the feet at the same time, in the legs, in the hips, in the abdomen, in the chest. Raise your arms up. Have your arms wide to start off with. So this wide-armed, wide-chested pose is really good for self-esteem. We're just presenting ourselves to the world, reminding the world that we're still here. Bring your arms parallel, hook the thumbs into the crease of the elbows, wrap your fingers around your elbows. And then hinge at the hips. Keep the arms lifted. Keep the head lifted as you hinge at the hips, keeping the back straight as you come down. So don't be tempted to bend your back as you come down and then hang down. If you're doing half uttanasana, then extend into the spine. If you're doing full uttanasana, extend into the spine. That spinal extension relies entirely on activated legs. So go to the feet. Feel that they're still in the right place. Feel the edge of the mat on the outside edge of your feet. Maybe turn the toes in a little. Keep the heels on the edge of the mat. Lift the shins out of the ankle sockets. Press the feet into the floor. Lift the shins away from the ankle sockets. Lift the kneecaps away from the shins. Lift the thighs away from the kneecaps. Up into the hip socket. And then allow the body to extend down to the floor. Stay with the breath. Again, observing how the breath changes as you come into this standing forward bend. And then release your hands down to the floor. Just come up into half uttanasana initially. If you can't reach the floor, then put blocks under your hands or bring your hands onto your shins. Keep the weight of your legs in the heels. Okay, bring your hands into your hips and then come up into standing, bending the knees on the way up if you need to. And then come up into Tadasana. Just breathe in through the nose and out through the nose, listening to the breath. Again, just developing that physical intelligence, feeling the feet in connection to the floor. Observing what your body's propensity is this morning. Does it want to just collapse to the floor? I can really feel this morning that my body is kind of yielding to gravity. So I'm observing that and then working to lift out of the legs. out of the feet, upwards, to draw my energy upwards. Just let your energy slump to the floor. It's not very difficult for me this morning. Feels quite natural. So that gravitational pull down to the floor suddenly drags your energy down with it. Makes you feel like you want to stoop your shoulders a little. Makes you feel kind of almost instantly exhausted, even if you slept well. So just feel that gravity and then lift the chest. Have the inner edge of the feet together, stamp the feet into the floor and then lift upwards. Lift from the feet into the shins, into the knees, into the thighs, turning the fronts of the legs inwards. Tucking the tailbone in, drawing the abdomen to the spine and lifting up to the ceiling. So when we get there, it doesn't really require a great deal of effort. But suddenly, your energy feels more alive, perhaps. Feels more alive and conscious. Bring your arms out nice and wide in towards the chest and then step or jump the feet nice and wide apart. Turn the left toes in, the right leg and foot all the way out. Bring the chest to face the front. Just feel where your feet are in 3 dimensions. Without looking, know that this heel is in line with the instep of the back foot. If it doesn't feel like it is, then adjust it. Have a quick look. Make sure that it is. Adjust it if it's not. And then bring your hands onto your hips for a second. Let gravity get the better of you. Draw yourself down. So this feels instantly slightly exhausting, doesn't it? So press the feet consciously into the floor. Press the feet into the floor and then suck the shins out of the ankle sockets. Lift the kneecaps up. Lift the thighs up. Turn the legs outwards. Lift from the hips up into the armpits. From the heart area into the arms. From the heart area into the head. And then maintain all of those lifts. And then come into trikonasana. So I kind of run out of ceiling height a little here, but this arm should ideally be directly over that top arm. But I have to kind of overturn a little bit for that. Just feel where you are. Feel where you are, not just in kind of tight sense of geography, but in the sense of where the pose is, where the gravity is. So sometimes it's useful to just drop this top hand, just to feel the feet. Does all of your weight feel like it's collapsing into this right foot? If it does, then activate that back leg as firmly as you can, like you're standing on it. I mean, you are standing on it, but like you're kind of putting your weight on it. Turn the chest up to the ceiling and then reach up to the top arm. Come up to the center, bring the feet parallel, and then swap the feet around. Again, just feel that the feet are in the right position. Heel on instep. Have a quick look, make sure that they are. So I've slightly gone to forwards with that front leg. Press the feet into the floor consciously, lift into the shins, into the knees, into the thighs, into the hips, into the spine, into the arms, into the head. Come over to the left. Feel that you can lift out of the floor, that you can defy gravity. Listen to the breath. Keep the jaw and the tongue and the throat soft. Come back to the centre, bring your feet parallel, and then step or jump your feet back together. Come back into Tadasana. Just observe, maybe your body feels more inclined to lift. Maybe it feels lighter on the inside. Just listen to the breath. Feel your balance on the floor. Breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. Okay, we're going to do padangusthasana. So you might need a belt for this. So if you do need a belt, then grab one. If you know that you struggle to touch your toes, then you'll need a belt. So you just hook the belt inside the big toe. So between the big toe and the index toe, you just hook the belt like that. And then when you come forward, you just hold onto the belt, come forward with a straight back, and then you just come forwards as much as you can. Otherwise, so you can do that if you've got, if your back is stiff. So bring your feet hip width apart. Turn your toes consciously in. Spread your toes and really activate your shins. Hit the shins back and draw the shins back so that your weight goes into your heels. Have your hands on your hips. Tighten the kneecaps, lift up into the chest. So you can come into this pose with the arms lifted, and then you come forwards, hinging at the hips, and then you reach down and get hold of the big toes. But I find that invariably that makes you do this, because everyone tries to bring their hands down to the floor before the head, and so you kind of get about here, and then everyone starts to just try and reach the floor, and then you round in your back. You'll hurt your back, and it just feels you'll never ever get there that way. So I find a more useful way of coming into the pose is to have your hands on your hips and to lift the heart area. Keep those legs really firmly activated, really firmly turning inwards at the fronts of the thighs, so the backs of the thighs are turning outwards, and then to lift the seat bones away from the backs of the thighs. Keep the head lifted, keep the elbows winging towards each other behind you. So you're coming forwards like you're in prasarita padangusthasana. So you keep the head lifted. As soon as you drop your head, you're going to round your back. So keep coming forwards. When you're about halfway, lengthen the spine away from the hips. Extend into the spine, and then reach down and see, can you bring the index finger and the middle finger underneath the big toe, and then wrap the thumb around the inside of the outside of the big toe. So keeping the head lifted helps to keep the back straight. Keeping the hands on the hips helps to keep the back straight. So maybe if you can't reach, then of course go back to the belt, use the belt and hold the belt as much as you can, but keep whichever version you are doing, make sure that your back is straight. Hinging entirely at the hips. Work to elevate the seat bones away from the backs of the thighs. Project the chin and the chest forwards. And then if you can, if your back is okay, then bend your elbows out to the side. But it has to come from those seat bones lifting from the backs of the thighs. Bend your elbows out to the side and draw the chest through the legs. Not draw the head through the legs, draw the chest through the legs. Keep the head attentive. So when we come forward into a forward bend with the head, we're doing the pose with our ego. We want to get further. We want to get deeper into the pose. We want to do those Instagram poses. But actually, that is when we injure ourselves, because we're doing it with our ego rather than our sensation from the feeling of the pose. Just straighten your arms, project the chin and the chest forward, stamp the big toe into the floor, try and rip the big toes out of the floor, lift the seat bones up to the ceiling, project the chin and the chest forwards again. And then bring your hands into your hips and then bend your knees on the way up if you need to, and then come up into standing position. And then have feet together. Raise your head. Just lift up into the chest. Just feel the openness of breath. Turn the palms all the way out. Okay, come down onto your back, and we're going to go down into supta padangusthasana. So this will really open up the chest. Have a folded blanket for your head. If you want to, you can put your bolster onto a little lift with a couple of blocks underneath the bolster, but it's just, if you don't need that, then just use the bolster as it is. So pull the feet towards you. If you haven't got a bolster, you can use cushions. And then before you go down, push your hands into the floor, lift out of the hips, up into the abdomen, up into the diaphragm, into the ribs, up into the chest. And then bring yourself down. If this feels too uncomfortable, if this feels kind of restrictive in your lumbar, then it means you were sitting too close at the beginning. So just have maybe an inch between the seat bones and the bolster, and then guide yourself down again. So feel that you are comfortable and that you can stay, that the back feels like it's supported. Feel how the chest broadens and opens. Bring your hands onto the floor, palms facing upwards, just either side of the ribs. So in this position, observe how the chest feels really lifted and open. The abdomen feels free and open, so it's free to expand. So observe your breath. Just observe your in breath, filling your lungs from the bottom to the top. And emptying your lungs from the top to the bottom. Acknowledge that the in-breath is a gift of existence. Every inhalation represents the prolongation of your existence on the planet. Without that inhalation, we wouldn't survive. So you could survive without water and, well, food for maybe a couple of weeks, just living off the body's reserves. You could live without water for maybe a couple of days, not that much longer than that. But you couldn't live without oxygen. You couldn't live without prana. Not for much more than a minute, really. So indulge in the breath. Feel the air drawn in through the nostrils. That is our commune with the universal energy that surrounds us. Inflating the lungs and the lining of the lungs, absorbing that oxygen that we inhale, or the prana that we bring into the body. Focus on that feeling of openness of the chest, and just observing the breath, observing how the chest rises upwards and outwards with the in-breath and relaxes with the out-breath. Just observing the breath as you fill the lungs and empty the lungs. Just observing this first stage of ujjayi pranayama. And then we're going to move just briefly into stage 2 of ujjayi pranayama, which is just a normal inhalation and a long, slow, deep, deliberate exhalation until the lungs are empty. And then a normal following inhalation, and then slow, deep, steady exhalation until the lungs are empty. So when you're ready, just take a normal exhalation, a normal inhalation, and then we will do a few rounds of ujjayi pranayama stage 2. So normal inhalation and slow, deep, steady exhalation until the lungs are empty. So slow, deep and steady exhalation. There's an element of control to that. Make the out-breath smooth and consistent. And then when the sound of the breath stops, that is when the lungs are empty. Normal inhalations. Slow, deep, steady exhalations until the lungs are empty. Just one more cycle of ujjayi stage 1, stage 2 even, sorry. And then bring the breath back to a normal rhythm. Normal inhalations and exhalations. And then bring the breath back to a normal rhythm. Just normal inhalations, normal exhalations. And then when your breath has recovered, push your elbows into the floor, lift the chest, and then push your hands into the floor. And then bring yourself up into padangusthasana. Just hold on to the big toes in the same way that we were holding on to them in padangusthasana. Just feel the energy of the chest, the energy of the head and the shoulders and the arms. Hold on to the big toes and roll yourself onto the front edge of the seat bones. If you find that you can't roll yourself onto the front edge of the seat bones, then go from padangusthasana into swastikasana, into just normal cross legs, so that you can roll onto the front of the seat bones. Because we're going to do parsva padangusthasana or parsva swastikasana. So if you kind of sink like this and you're sitting on the back edge of the seat bones, then turning will feel really unpleasant. So you have to roll onto the front edge of the seat bones. You've got to lift the abdomen up to the diaphragm, up to the collarbone, and stay on the front edge of the seat bone. So if you struggle with that, then do swastikasana. Let go of the toes, bring the left hand onto the outside of the right foot, bring the back hand maybe onto the bolster behind you to help you to stay on the front edge of the seat bone, and then turn to the right side, drawing your abdomen across, trying to get that belly button to point at the right knee and beyond it. Turn the abdomen and the ribs and the shoulders, and then gently come back to the center. Take a deep inhalation and then turn to the left, drawing your abdomen across and your ribs and your shoulders. Staying on the front edge of the seat bones, coming into cross legs if you struggle to do that. And then just coming back to the center. Just get hold of your knees, draw your knees in, and then stretch your legs away. And again, roll onto the front edge of your seat bones and lift up into the chest, activating the legs down into the floor. Lifting up into dandasana, just feeling that you can defy gravity, lifting the chest up to the ceiling, but keeping the legs firmly pressing down. And then turn to the right. Again, sit on a lift if you struggle to lift, sitting on the floor. Come back to the center and then turn to the left. And then gently come back to the center. Just get a folded blanket from underneath your head. Come down onto your back. You can have the bolster for underneath your knees. Make sure you're in a really good straight line before you relax, because otherwise you'll feel like you have to wriggle about until you get into a straight line. So come into a good straight line and then allow the body to totally release into the floor. Just let the body sink into the ground. Unhook the muscles of the arms and the legs. And just observe normal breathing. Just giving the body what it needs in terms of the breath. Let the body sink into the ground. And then observe that from that feeling of heaviness comes an intense physical lightness that radiates from the bones. Moving into the muscles and into the organs. Into the flesh and the skin. Just feel that positive energy radiating throughout the body. Let the lightness in. Use your in-breath and your out-breath to distribute it evenly throughout the physical body, down into the toes, into the fingers, and up into the top of the head. Just basking in that feeling of energetic lightness. Wriggle your toes, wriggle your fingers. Bring yourself back into this pose of sirvasana. And then draw your knees in towards your chest. Have a little rock from side to side, from top to bottom, just a gentle massage. Just giving your back a gentle massage on the floor. And then very gently roll over onto your right side. Stay down for a breath or two. And then straighten out the top leg, come up into the seated position. Just come into cross legs with your hands in Namaste, a final spinal lift. Draw your breath in through your nose and down into the abdomen. Samanic breath that brings to your attention your energy. Draws your attention to the energy that you have released through your practice, that good, positive, healthy flow of clean energy that the extensions and the forward bends and the twists and the pranayama and the reclining poses bring to the body and to the mind. And then draw your chin down to make contact with the chest, lifting the chest up to meet the chin, drawing your shoulders away from your ears. Just spend a moment to acknowledge the positive energy you have created inside. Around the heart area, and then send some of that positive energy out into the world, to people and places that need and things that need our positive energy. And then gently release the backs of your hands down toward your knees, palms facing upwards. Just connecting the tip of the index finger with the tip of the thumb, just a gesture of wisdom, physical intelligence, and of peacefulness that we can carry, all of which we can carry through into our day. Raise your head, allow your eyes to softly open, and the focus to softly come back. Thank you very much. So hopefully you feel as though you've really lifted your energy, giving yourself a sensation of lightness on the inside. So thank you very much for joining me.